This episode is brought to you by Tools and Weapons, a podcast hosted by Microsoft Vice Chair and President Brad Smith. In it, global leaders discuss the promise and peril of the digital age, from environmental sustainability and cybersecurity to ethical AI. Guests like journalist Kara Swisher and Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella share lessons from their past to reframe some of society's toughest challenges and seek new solutions. Follow Tools and Weapons with Brad Smith on Spotify now.
Even something as simple as a handwritten note as well can be such a nice touch when you finish working with somebody. That's why I always make sure to ask for somebody's mailing address as part of the payment or checkout process at the beginning, because you might encounter ideas or ways that you want to gift or thank or surprise and delight your clients.
This is your time. How can we earn twice as much in half the time with joy and ease while serving the highest good? That is our guiding question here at the Free Time Cafe, your home for heart-based business. I'm your host, Jenny Blake. Join me for conversations with authors, friends, and fellow business owners as we explore ways to free your mind, time, and team to do your best work. Now, on to today's show.
Do you already have an elegant way of wrapping up with clients if you work with people one-on-one? As I talk about in Free Time, it's so important to systematize business values that you say are important to you. Things like surprise and delight, or giving clients a red carpet experience. A lot of us have thought more about that on the front end than when we're actually closing out with a client. That's why I'm super excited to bring you this listener submission episode. I just love when I get these in the voicemail inbox from BFF member Jacqueline Fisch. You might remember Jacq from episode 179 on how she runs a video-free business. Well, there was this aside she shared toward the end about how she creates a see you soon kit for clients when they're wrapping up their work together. And this has just continued to take on a life of its own in discussions within the BFF community. We've all been so curious, what does your kit look like? Hers takes the form of a beautifully formatted, super well thought through, systematized Google Doc that, listeners, she has gratefully and gracefully turned into a set of templates for you. I'm going to put the link to the template pack in the show notes. If you resonate with this favorite time-saving system from Jacq, which I bet you will, you don't have to start from scratch. Before we get into Jacq's notes on the See You Soon kit, I also wanted to play a lovely voicemail that I got from John Baker, who was referring to episode 183 on letting go of productivity guilt with Madeline Dorr. Over to you, John.
Hey, Jenny, it's John Baker. I just listened to your Madeline Dorr podcast, and I loved when you said, you can't carpe every diem. It was very funny. I'm very much a fan, as you know. Best wishes.
We all need a reminder sometimes that you just can't carpe every diem. Sometimes you just want to curl into the fetal position or get swallowed into the couch, as I always talk about my furry rest monster, and do nothing at all. So if you need to hear that today, you hereby have full permission not to carpe this diem. You can carpe another one tomorrow or the day after that. Without further ado, let's get into Jacq's pointers for creating a See You Soon kit. And if you want to submit your favorite time-saving system for other free timers to benefit from, we would love to hear from you. Leave me a voice note at itsfreetime.com/ask. Over to you, Jacq.
Hey, this is Jacqueline Fisch. I'm excited to chat about See You Soon kits. The See You Soon kit is something I came up with early on in my freelance copywriting and coaching career. When I was done working with a client, whether writing for them or doing a coaching project, I didn't want to just offboard them. And when we're done a project, it's such a great time to make them feel good about the experience, invite them into something else, if possible, get testimonials, feedback, and all those good things. So I wanted to do this in a way that felt really good. This is why I created the See You Soon kit, which is not an offboarding kit, because no one wants to be offboarding. So here's how to create one. First, I start off by sharing a few sentiments about working together. I truly enjoyed working with you. We were able to accomplish this, this, and this, and then include any celebratory notes and encouraging if they have more work to do going forward. And then I ask them for feedback I let them know I would love your feedback. Please take 2 minutes. I link to a simple Google form where I ask a handful of questions, and then I turn their feedback into a testimonial for them and get their approval on it. Then I ask for referrals, and I let them know if I could fill my client roster with people as wonderful as you, I'd be over the moon. And then let them know, please pass my name along. So I write the email for them to send. And it's templated, and there's some spots where they will customize it and, of course, tweak it to make it their own. But something like, hi, friend, I recently finished working with Jacq, a great copywriter and coach. Our work together helped me do this, this, and this. I'm impressed. I love it. I was able to do this. If you're thinking of hiring her, tell her I sent you. Then they can customize it and send. And then I add a section to suggest ways that they can continue their momentum. Depending on our work together, there might be one option. I like to suggest 2 or 3 if I can. So if they're a good fit to move to a retainer or work on other projects that came up that we discussed, I'll suggest that there. Or they might be a great fit to join my membership community or some other kind of support package. I'll list those options, and quite often the client sees the value in continuing our work together because I laid out the options and I asked. And then the last thing I include is to keep in touch. And this is just my social links or an invitation to join me in email newsletter. So that is all. I love the See You Soon kit because it's such a great feel-good way to wrap up a project. It's like putting a nice, tidy bow on it.
We'll be right back just after this.
This episode is brought to you by Tools and Weapons, a podcast hosted by Microsoft Vice Chair and President Brad Smith. In it, global leaders discuss the promise and peril of the digital age, from environmental sustainability and cybersecurity to ethical AI. Guests like journalist Kara Swisher and Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella share lessons from their past to reframe some of society's toughest challenges and seek new solutions. Follow Tools and Weapons with Brad Smith on Spotify now.
Big thanks to Jacq for sharing her process on the See You Soon kit. If you want the link to her intuitive client service bundle with the See You Soon kit template in there, that's in the show notes, as well as Jacq's book. If you haven't gotten a copy yet, I highly encourage you to check it out. It's called Intuitive Writing, The Remedy for Writer's Block and the Secret to Authentic Communication. I'll also add a little tip that I tried this summer. I like to send a post survey as well for any programs that I run, whether it's one-on-one coaching or my asynchronous Voxer pop-up that I've done now for 2 summers in a row. And I just did something delightful with the post engagement feedback survey. So I create my surveys in type form, and when they get to the very last page, you can usually include a button that there's a next action. In this case, I wanted to thank people for their time taking the feedback survey, and also thank them for being the best part of my year, especially this summer where I had a lot of ups and downs in my business. I adored this group of 11 Voxer coaching clients. And so I also wanted to do one last surprise and delight moment to say thank you. So after a little bit of internet digging, I found a service that allows you to put a gift link. Now, you wouldn't want to do this publicly because you don't want it to somehow get out there and then you're charged thousands of dollars. But essentially, through a service called sugarwish.com, I was able to link to a gift link that every time somebody completed the survey, this button just said, surprise me, or there's a surprise gift waiting for you. They clicked it, they were redirected to the gift link, and then it allows them to pick out 4 different candies or popcorn flavors or dog treats for somebody avoiding sugar, which I so understand, and then complete checkout to get their gift. And at that point, my business credit card is billed. In this specific case, that gift link will expire after a certain amount of time. I don't think this one allows you to cap a dollar amount, but either way, as long as you have some control around it so that it's not out there indefinitely forever or with the wrong people seeing it, this can also be a really fun way to have one last surprise and delight as you wrap up with a client. Even something as simple as a handwritten note as well can be such a nice touch when you finish working with somebody. That's why I always make sure to ask for somebody's mailing address as part of the payment or checkout process at the beginning, because you might encounter ideas or ways that you want to gift or thank or surprise and delight your clients. If you enjoyed this episode, you'll love the one with John Rulin coming up. And you might also enjoy episode 70 from the Pivot podcast on building a referral engine with John Jantz. That's from back in 2017, based on his book that I loved and have always referred to, The Referral Engine. You can learn more and join us in the BFF community at itsfreetime.com/BFF. And if you want to leave your favorite time-saving system as a voice memo to share with future free timers, that's at itsfreetime.com/ask. Thank you so much for listening. Have a beautiful rest of your day.
If you've listened this far, you get a gold star. Thank you. Word of mouth is the most joyful way we can grow this show, and it helps us land interviews with the luminaries and insightful guests that you would most love to hear from. Please send this episode to a friend who might find it helpful. And for show notes and related links from this episode, visit itsfreetime.com. While you're there, make sure you're subscribed to the Time Well Spent newsletter. You'll get instant access to my tech toolkit, a continually updated list of all the software I use, along with the total monthly spend to run my business, where no one works full-time, even me. Visit itsfreetime.com/join. Remember, you are running the show. It's time for radical reimagining, and everything is up for grabs. Let it be easy, let it be fun, and build with love.